What's up, y'all? Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're not to my channel. If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you're military affiliated or know someone who is, and they are PCSing or relocating to Fort Jackson in Columbia, South Carolina. For those of you guys that don't know, my name is Tyann, and I am a licensed realtor here in the state of South Carolina. I currently service the Columbia and Fort Jackson area, so obviously you're in the right place. So if you or anyone that you know are looking to buy or sell a home, I am literally and figuratively your homegirl. But wait, Tyann, I'm not PCSing or relocating to Columbia, South Carolina, or South Carolina for that matter in general. Does that mean that you can't help me? And the answer is, of course not. My geographical network expands across all 50 states. So regardless of what state you're in, if you're looking to buy or sell your current home, I am still your homegirl. And I can definitely help you get started in the process, as well as refer you to a trusted realtor in your area. Now that that's all out the way, let's get into the video. So if you clicked on this video, it's like I said, because you or someone that you know are PCSing or relocating to Fort Jackson. Someone has come down on orders on Fort Jackson and you are looking for just a little bit more information about the area. For those of you guys that are new and don't know, I am an Army spouse myself. My husband is an active duty U.S. Army soldier and has been for about almost 10 years now. Wow, that's kind of crazy to say. But yeah, we've been in this game for quite some time, so we have done our fair share of moving and PCSing. And I wouldn't say that I'm an expert at anything, but I know a thing or two about PCSing to a place you know nothing about. And I found myself always asking myself the same 5 questions. So that's kind of how I structured today's video. I have 5 questions that most spouses, family members, or whoever that are relocating to a new area usually are going to want to ask themselves, or 9 times out of 10 are going to type into the Google search. That said, let's get into the first one. So the first question is going to be, where should I live near Fort Jackson? And it's a simple answer, but it's not a simple answer. That honestly just depends on your personal preference. Some people would like to be closer to base. Some people would like to be a little further from base, so away from the hustle and bustle, because they normally put military bases kind of in the mix of some type of hustle and bustle. So some people want to live maybe a little more on the countryside or in the suburban area, so to speak, and a little away from the city. Some people want more land. So it honestly just depends on specifically what you and your family are looking for or what your needs are. However, I have taken the liberty of creating a list of 6 cities that most people that are stationed in Fort Jackson do reside in. And those 6 cities are going to be Columbia, Dentonville, Irmo, Lexington, Lugoff, and Case. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but you guys can see it on the screen. You guys can also see that I've also taken the liberty of including some zip codes for those cities because, like I said, I've been there. I've been in your shoes. I know what it's like to research a place you've never been, and the more detail, the better. And I promise you, when you're looking up schools and homes and areas, the zip codes are going to be a lot more helpful than just the city names themselves. That brings us to question number 2. What schools are near Fort Jackson? So if you or whoever, like I said, that you're doing this research for, if they do have school-age kids, it's important to know what schools are near, and I'm just here to make your life a little bit easier. So I have it categorized in 2 categories. So we have on base, aka on post, and then we have off post. So there are 2 elementary schools located on Fort Jackson, the installation itself. The first being Pierce Terrace Elementary School, which goes from pre-K to 1st grade. And the second being Pinckney Elementary, which goes from 2nd grade to 6th grade. Now, for off-post schools, we have Dent Middle School and Richland High School. It's important to note that all students between the grades of 7th and 12th, if they reside on post, so if you, the family member, spouse, whoever, you guys do live on post, it's important to note that the children on base will be zoned for Richland District 2. Again, as a mom myself, I know how important it is to not just know about what schools are in the area, but also what school districts, so you can do just a little bit more research, find out academically, all of that good stuff, where the school district lies. Question number 3 is going to be, what's the weather like near Fort Jackson or in Fort Jackson or in Columbia, South Carolina? And that is going to depend solely on what time of the year you're PCSing or relocating. We moved here in November, so middle of winter time, and the temperatures were ranged anywhere from 35 to 55 degrees. If you're PCSing in the summertime, all of those things, anybody that has done a military move, or maybe this is your first one, you think that these things don't matter, but they do matter. You need to know what kind of clothes to send in your household goods, what kind of clothes to pack in your suitcase, because chances are you may be living out of that suitcase for at least a month. So you want to make sure that clothes-wise, you, your family, your possible children are all prepared for any type of weather. When I'm currently filming this, it is June of 2022, so very beginning of summer, and apparently summers are very hot and very humid here. It's been roughly anywhere between 85 to 98 degrees, and we're only in the first week of June. So that should tell you summers here are hot. Humidity ranges anywhere between 80 to 90%. So it's hot and humid. The winters here, in my opinion, aren't that bad. I'm from New York City, if you guys don't know, so my version of cold and the southern version of cold are completely different. So if you're from somewhere that's a little more similar to the summer temperature here, those winters are going to get a little bit cold. That 35 is going to feel a lot less than that if you're used to somewhere that's hot. It's also important to note that, according to weather.com, the rainy season here is between July and August. Again, it's only June when I'm filming this, so I have not, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, experienced rainy season here to tell you just how bad it is, but I just thought that was important to mention. The fourth question is going to be, what things are there to do in or around Fort Jackson? And the answer is plenty. I have it categorized in 3 different categories. So we got outdoor, indoor, and even travel. So as far as outdoor activities, there are major colleges here, Benedict College, USC, just to literally name the first 2 that came to my mind. So there are always college sports and events to attend. There are always festivals going on. As my tip for festivals would be to download the app Eventbrite. I'll put it right here on the screen so you guys can know how to spell it. But always go check that app. There is always plenty of kid-friendly, adult-only activities going on during the week. On the weekends, I guarantee you will find something to do. There are even food trucks that you guys can catch, not even just festivals, but even just driving around. You might run into a food truck. I have seen food trucks all over town, and I have not tried them as of yet, but I hear amazing things about them. Moving into indoor activities, there are tons to do, like I mentioned, for kid-friendly activities as well as adult-friendly activities. There is a wine bar, there is the Riverbank Zoo, there is the Adventure Children's Museum, there are tons and tons and tons of restaurants. There's a road here called Two Notch Road, and I promise you, any and every restaurant that you can think of is on that one street. All of it. So if all else fails, you can go out to eat. That's for sure. Moving into travel. So Columbia, South Carolina is very centrally located, which is one of our favorite things about living here, because you can hop in your car in a couple hours and you can be in multiple, when I say multiple, I mean multiple other major cities. Just to name a few, Charlotte, North Carolina is only an hour-and-a-half drive away. Charleston, South Carolina is only about a 2-hour drive away. Augusta, Georgia is only a 1-hour drive away. Myrtle Beach is only about a 2.5-hour drive away. And if you clicked on this video, I'm presuming you are military affiliated. So if you have any buddies or friends stationed at Fort Bragg, Fayetteville, North Carolina is also only a 2.5-hour drive away. So you can literally hop in your car and drive anywhere. Atlanta, Georgia is only 3.5 hours away. So plenty of things to choose from. If you don't want to stay local, there are plenty of other getaways that you can hop in the car on a regular weekend, but definitely a 3-day or 4-day weekend and go have fun and explore elsewhere. That brings us to the 5th and final question, and probably the most important one that you were hoping to get out of this video, and that is, how expensive is it to live in Fort Jackson? How expensive is it to be stationed at Fort Jackson? And that is going to depend on a number, literally a vast majority of things. However, I have taken the liberty of kind of just mentioning 4 things that I thought would be important, especially if you're military affiliated. The first being rent. As of right now, in June of 2022, when I'm filming this, the average rent here in Colombia ranges anywhere from $900 to $1,300 a month. The average sales price for homes. So if you are interested in buying here at Fort Jackson, which I highly recommend that you should, and you definitely should reach out to me, because not only am I an expert in my area, I am very knowledgeable, professional, and trustworthy. And like I said in the beginning, I'm your homegirl. So you can't want to buy or sell here with anybody but me. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are more than welcome to use whatever realtor you prefer, but I'm biased and I like me more. But the average sales price for a single family home ranges roughly at about $240,000. And I know in some areas that's a lot. In other areas, that's barely anything. So it kind of just depends on what you're looking for. The options are endless regarding renting as well as buying. However, because like I said, June 2022, we are still in a very much seller's market coming off the heels of the pandemic. So inventory is a little bit low, but it's not impossible to find a great house for a great price. The last 2 things that I would like to mention are things that are going to fluctuate a lot more frequently than rent and sales price. So they're going to be BAH, which stands for Basic Housing Allowance, and then the COLA, which is Cost of Living Allowance. So like I said, if you click on this video, you're probably military affiliated, so you already know what those 2 things are. And they're going to range based on how the economy is doing, but also based on things like whether or not you have dependents, whether or not you have dependents, as well as the rank of the service member. So as of June of 2022, the average BAH ranges anywhere from $1,200 to $1,900 a month. That also will depend on whether or not you have dependents and the rank of the service member. As far as COLA is concerned, as of June of 2022, COLA ranges anywhere between $33 to $59 if you have dependents, and then it ranges from $22 to $45 if you do not have dependents. And that's honestly all I have for you guys. As the title suggests, this is just kind of my Fort Jackson PCS guide. Like I said, I'm a military spouse. I have been for almost a decade. Oh my God, that just made me sound old and I don't like it. I have been a military spouse for almost 10 years. For some reason, that sounds a lot less. I don't know. It don't sound as long. But I've been in this military game for quite some time. This is our 4th PCS. So I'm pretty confident that these are the things that you want to know. These are the things that anyone you know that is PCSing or relocating to Columbia, South Carolina, aka Fort Jackson, are going to want to know. So if this video was helpful in any way, shape, or form, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Please make sure you share it with anybody you know that's PCSing here or thinking about PCSing here, because I think that all of these things are important to know. And make sure you leave a comment. If you or your spouse or significant other or anyone that you know have come down on orders to Fort Jackson, leave it in the comments. When are you expected to arrive here? What are some things you've heard about Fort Jackson? If I'm being honest, a lot of us military spouses tend to get our PCS information from that Bases Wives page or FRG page. And a lot of those things can be opinion based. You're going to have 2 totally different ends of the spectrum. You're going to have people that absolutely love it here and people that absolutely hate it here. And that's just at any base or any military installation. So I think that those personal biases kind of just cloud the information that they're trying to give you. All of the information that I gave here, I tried to make very neutral, where someone that loved it here or someone that didn't like it so much, they can all agree that these things are in fact true. All of my information is factual because I feel like that's what matters. And I feel like it's the important things you need to know, especially if you're moving here and you know no one, you've never been here. So y'all know the vibes. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram right here. Make sure that you follow me on Twitter, also right here. And if you're new here and haven't checked it out already, please make sure you subscribe to my podcast right here. If you want to get just a more in-depth explanation or just follow my journey, my military spouse journey, my mom journey, as well as my new journey to becoming a realtor. So all of those things, I have episodes on all of those things. You can find my podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, you can find your girl. But that's all I got for y'all. So I will see you. Yes, you. Because I drop a video every single week. So you're going to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to give you a second. Appreciate it. And I will see you same time, same place next week. Peace, y'all.